get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Mr. Live Free Sports Picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and deliver those winners at professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. So let's take a peek who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us we got Alex Smart with us. Rod Zawacky signing a little bit later. Tony Brown from Las Vegas, Nevada. Jay we're waiting for. And Wayne Scott. Here's how the lineup for this evening. We've got Smart, Brown, Briggs, Scott, Zawacky, then I will close this one out. All right, we got NBA on the board here. 9-game card. Also NHL with 8 games. NIT semifinals are scheduled as well. We still have games in prime time, about 13 games remaining here on the Major League Baseball schedule. Brewers up 3-2 on the Twins here, top of the 7th there, but runners on base here threatening right now are the Twins, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. So let's go ahead and get this show underway. We'll go ahead and welcome in Alex Smart. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Alex in right now with some baseball coverage. Alex, what's happening?
Hey, you and Tony, yeah, we're going to go after a baseball game tonight that shows some value according to my projections. I'm looking at the Yankees. The Yankees should be favorites here, in my opinion, and not Arizona. Zach Gallen, great season last year, but I think he was a little bit overrated. I think his metrics were just a little bit off compared to really where he was overall. And I just, hey, I'm not knocking Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen's a very viable pitcher, great number 2 pitcher in the lineup, maybe on some teams a great number 1 pitcher. But, I just think he's just a little bit overrated right now in his current form. And the Yankees have always hit lefties pretty well, and most recently anyway. And I just when you have
Gallen's right-handed.
I'm sorry. Yeah. They've always hit lefties much better. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. But when you have Juan Soto in the lineup, it makes a big difference. And Nestor Cortez, he had an off season last year, but he was pretty banged up. And the year before that, he had a 2.70 ERA, and it ballooned up to close to 5. But he was pretty banged up. That's a good pitcher. I think he's closer to that 2.70 ERA number we saw in 2022, and I really look for him to come back here strongly this year. I know he started a little bit slowly, but I think we're going to be fine here overall. The Yankees, yeah, and like I said, I'm going to go back to that lefty thing. I know they've always hit lefties better, but with Juan Soto in the lineup, like I said, I think they're going to do fine here against this righty. And from another perspective also, from my own projections and from what I've seen so far, I just think the Yankees are the superior side, really deserve to be favorites. But hey, we're getting plus money a lot around the board here right now, so I'm going to go with that plus money, and I'm going to take the Yankees.
All right, Alex, here on the Yankees here. There's some evens. There's some. Do your line shopping. Obviously, get the best number in this game as Gallen goes up against Cortez in this matchup here. We're going to see a few -108s, -104s. It's kind of getting close to pickup now over in the marketplace. But yeah, I see here with the Yankees are hitting right-handers pretty well this year. That's what they've been doing. They've shown us a swing that way, and also too. The bullpen here for this Yankees team has been pretty good. If this gets to the late innings, you get a 2-2 game late innings, you got to like your position with New York.
Yeah, and from what I've seen here, just looking quickly, I think the Arizona bullpen's pretty tired right now. So we've got a few edges here.
So, yeah, especially when you had those Tommy Henry going, then you had who was there yesterday? It was Ryan Nelson. So it's the back two there. That's why they need Gallen to go deep, because anytime he goes in as a number 1, you're going to be following Ryan Nelson and Tommy Henry.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to the middle innings. I think the middle innings we're going to see this advantage help us. So let's take the value. And I know it has changed a little bit here, and it's changing as we speak, as far as I can see. And so yeah, hey, but still, I still like the Yankees.
All right, Alex here on the Yankees. -104 against D-backs. This one tonight, 9:40 Eastern Time. All right, Alex, let's take a look over at Pick Doc for tonight's action. Of course, Alex having a great year here. You see the numbers here, 3,755 units of profit. All documented over at Pick Doc. So you can verify those numbers simply by going to Alex's handicapper page. Go to Pick History. You'll see all the plays loaded there for you. All right, Alex, what do you have going over at the site?
Well, you know what? I have both NIT games. I have totals on both of them on a 10-0 college basketball run, tourney basketball run. $44,000 dime player profits for my totals players in college basketball. So join me tonight. Let's make some money We also have the Mavs and Warriors later on this evening. I've got the side selection on that, and Penguins Devils money line. So let's make some money, guys. Let's go forward here, and it's there's still some basketball left to be played, and we've got the playoffs of basketball. Historically, that's been my busiest. My not my well, it's been my busiest for a reason because I've won a lot of money during playoff action, NBA playoff action in the past. That doesn't guarantee what's going to happen this year, but historically, I've always done well. So join me.
That's right, guys. Got on board here with Alex Mott over at Pick Dog Stream. You see the great results Alex has put up here. You see that 3,755 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dog Stream. So get on board with Alex with one of those long-term passes. Will serve you well. Remember, the 7-day pass will get you all of Alex Stream plays for 7 days. It'll include the NIT tournament as well as the remainder of the NCAA tournament, the Final Four on Saturday, the finals as well here on Monday, and of course all the NBA, all the college hoops, all the as well as we've got hockey up there on the board as well. So get on board with Alex Smart over at Pick Dogs Premium. We got a promo code for you guys to use. Use that promo code PICK at checkout, and you will save yourself there 15% off. Multi-cap promotions also available as well for you. All right, Alex, as always, great having you show. Keep up the great work, and we'll catch up with you again on Thursday.
I want to ask a quick question. Somebody asked me something today, and I said, yeah, I'm going to ask somebody about this. Are there any minor league pitchers that you've ever heard of that can throw both southpaw and right-handed? Some guy threw a name out at me today, but I just never heard of him.
There is somebody. There the latest one. The Dodgers had a pitcher. I don't remember the name, but the Dodgers did have a pitcher that can pitch both and can pitch both lefty and right-handed. He didn't pan out very well. But there is currently a minor leaguer in there right now. The name escapes me because I did hear that story. But I know there's a minor leaguer out there circulating that can pitch from left-hander and right-hander right now. There is a
interesting. I've been paying close enough attention. Yeah. Thanks, Tony.
You got it.
I appreciate it. Okay. Take care.
All right, Alex Smart here on the Drive to That will continue here on the show, guys. I want to let you know what the chat pick of the day is. We'll let you guys vote on this one. Not covered on the show is the Knicks and the Heat. If you like the Knicks +3, type A in the chat. If you like the Heat -3, type B in the chat. And if you like it over 206, it's the C. D is under 206. So get those votes coming in, and we will calculate those here at the end of the show. So can keep these votes coming in to see what you guys like today in the chat. Pick of the day. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Seeing somebody showing that we have someone in the chat announcing right now Embiid has been listed as probable tonight, so we'll see if we can get any more information on that Embiid news. He may be in today. Of course, that was the news here. We're already getting 1-1, 1A, 1B so far, split so far in this Knicks and Heat game, kind of close there in the line. And let's see if we have any news here on Embiid that I can relate back. And yes, Embiid has been listed now as probable. Tyrese Maxey is now out. Actually, I'm sorry, questionable. So Maxey questionable, Embiid now probable, and it looks like he is leaning there toward playing. So we'll see how that goes. Rolled out. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see if we get any the specifics here. But yeah, he's been upgraded to probable right now as I'm looking at it. Let me see if I get some more information here in Embiid. Let me let it settle here. Let me hit the browser here for Embiid. But Maxey hit the questionable mark, though, which I didn't see. Shea is out. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander out here for Oklahoma City. But Embiid has been upgraded questionable. He is expected to play here, so that's the word here. He is expected. Initially, he was ruled out, but ascended to questionable a couple hours ago with tip-off and set to make his first appearances. Coach Nurse said he does expect to have some restrictions in his first game back. So he'll be playing with restrictions. So that is the latest here on Embiid. So he's expected to play, and there will be some restrictions. So that's the word there on Embiid. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Up next, we got Tony Brown. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring Tony in right now, hitting some NHL. Tony Brown, what's going on?
Tony T, what's going on out there?
Things going great. Sunshine and warming up out here in the west. Tonight we've got the Canucks and Golden Knights going head-to-head here as we're getting tied down to the wire here in the NHL. Canucks -130, total sits at 5.5.
Right. Before I start, it was funny you guys were talking about the pitcher. I was just reading about him before we came on the air. I'm going to butcher his name, but he plays for Mississippi State. It's Gerangelo Ciharte or something like that. But he throws 90 miles per hour from both hands. So I'm definitely going to be watching out for Mississippi State games this year. But for the pick, we're going to the Knights game. And I think I'm gonna go with the total on this one, and we're going with the under. They're playing the Canucks, and both the Canucks and the Knights, they played each other twice this season, and neither one of those games got over 5.5. They got a 4-1 game for the Knights and a 3-1 game for the Canucks. And the Knights, they're going to be playing all out on defense right now. They need just 1 point to make the playoffs. Guaranteed seals them in the playoffs, even if they lose the rest of the game. We just need to get one more point. So, you know what they say, it's time to put the championship defense on. Season's coming to an end. No one wants to back into the playoffs and all that. So I think we get a lot of defense on both sides. Scoring has been at a minimum for both teams for a while now. The Canucks have cashed the under in 6 of their last 7, including 4 or 5 on the road, and the Knights have cashed the under in 4 or 5 period, including 3 out of 4 at home. So, I mean, these games aren't played on paper or anything, but some of these stats you can't ignore. And tonight, I think we're going to go with those stats, and we're going to take the total to go under 5.5. And everybody knows me. I mean, I don't know how the other guys feel about this, but if you live in Vegas or if you be in Vegas, you know you got bitten by the hook so many times, it's ridiculous. Buy it up to 6. You know what I mean? Now they need actually 7 goals to beat you, and instead of 6 goals beating you, it'll only be a tie. So you can buy this up to 6 and take the under, or go ahead and take the under and get plus money at 5.5. I think we got another 3-1, 4-1 game at the most.
All right, we've got Tony Brown here on Golden Knights Canucks going under total here of 5.5 of goals there. So he says there, Tony Brown in this game tonight between Golden Knights and the Vancouver Canucks, as we're getting kind of close here to the playoff push here, as we see the Canucks Golden Knights. And here's your thoughts overall on the Golden Knights season, how you see them moving in as we get close to the playoffs.
I actually I'm not saying this just because I'm a fan, but I actually like what happened. You know what happens with most teams? They start off hot as a pistol, like that Florida team last year, set the goals record, the wins record, then poof, they were done. Like, we started off like gangbusters, and we took our regression in the middle towards the end of the season, and now we're starting to heat back up right as we head into the playoffs. You can't ask for anything more than that.
Yep, they're looking for this Golden Knight team now, winners of what, like you said, 5 of 6, and they've been really, it's the defense, right? You like seeing that, right, on the visitors column, a lot of 1s and 2s in there, and as far as goals scored.
Right, and speaking of that, I would be remiss if I didn't give a props and shout out to my boy Jonathan Quick, man. He just got the most goal winners for American-born goalie ever, and like, he's the guy that put me on the map. When I ever did my first ever handicapping, my first ever show, I was telling everybody how great Jonathan Quick was and how the Kings were the livest underdogs in the world, and then they ended up winning the Stanley Cup that year behind them. So shout out to Quick for doing that. He's the most goal-winning American goalie ever, so. But
yep.
Back to the Knights game, yeah, the defense, that's where it all starts. Speaking of goalies, that's where it all starts, and the Knights are going to be able to turn it up. We're the defending champ, so if anybody knows the formula to get it done, it's the Knights, and so I love where we're sitting right now, and we're going to get that 1 point. It's 8 games left. We need 1 point to solidify a playoff spot, and no one's saying they want to play the Knights in the playoffs, trust me.
I think as they're going to ready to get the Tropicana is going to get demolished here for Oakland Stadium. I guess the Oakland can see here that if you run an organization right, people will show up.
I mean, you see the Raiders are here. Now the Athletics are here. Like, honestly, the Oakland, it wasn't the teams, it wasn't the fans, it wasn't the city, it was the organizations. They were just being run into the ground, literally. Like, the grounds were cracking out there and stuff. So they moved on to bigger and better. The Knights flourished as soon as they got here. The Vegas Raiders have been flourishing. We already hosted the Super Bowl. I see big things coming for the Athletics when they move to Vegas.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You can see they're trying to stockpile some draft picks to make sure that they go in with a pretty good level team. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, I mean, they don't really have a choice, man. They're one of the worst teams in baseball ever, especially last season. And the one lone all-star, they had one lone all-star. They benched him because of a protest, and they had another guy that was pretty good. They sent him down to the minors. So it's going to be a rough season in Oakland, but that just means better draft picks, better positions, got to get a lot of young guys. And when you're coming to a new city, that's perfect. You know what I mean? You don't want to rebuild in Oakland with the fans already tired of you guys losing and stuff. you no expectations when you come out here, except, you know what I mean, good vibes, and you can only go up from there. So they're gonna, by 2028, Oakland might be a force to be reckoned with. It might be the livest bet for a World Series with the new expansion team coming to Vegas.
Yep, they're just playing the system here. It looks like what's going on there. Playing the system. All right, Tony Brown here. Golden Knights Canucks under 5.5 tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Tony Brown, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, we've got the 8-game card from the NHL. Also, action with 9 games here from the NBA. Still a lot of baseball to be played here. We've got another 13 games on the board here from Major League Baseball. Of course, NIT in action, which we know what Tony Brown is not a big fan of those, those not in tournaments out there, so you won't get much caught from Tony Brown at NIT, CBI, CIT. Well, he'll watch the women's sport. I think he's turned around with the women's college basketball. He definitely turned around there. What do you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I did a whole turnaround about women's sports, period. I told you I took my grandmother to her first Aces game. It was an Aces playoff game, and the energy in there was crazy, and it was a real game. So I guess I was just stereotyping them or something. And then Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese just put on a show. And actually, who I always thought was the best player, Paige Becker's over there at Connecticut. I can't wait to see them play. So the women's sports, they're not that bad. I just gave them a bad rap. But anyway, tonight we got a lot going on in the MLB. As you can see, we're doing great in the MLB. We've attacked Major League Baseball. We went 13-3 in the first 16 games, and we're up 1,000 units already in baseball. So I got 3 big plays in the MLB tonight. Plus, I got 2 NHL plays and an NBA game. No NIT stuff, but I got all of those. You can get them individually, or you can bundle them. But your best bet is getting one of those packages, whether it's 3 days, 30 days, 7 days, or the full 365 days with that VIP All Sports year. It's no shortcutting you in those packages. You get every single pick I release from every sport, playoffs and championship picks included, for a full 365 days of play. If you would have got it right now, the baseball units were up, we already would have paid for the pass itself. If you're serious about making money betting sports, you can't afford not to grab that pass.
That's right, guys. Got more with Tony Brown over at Pick Dog. What a start in baseball this year. 1,024 units. Probably got a lot of baseball in front of us. Oh, my goodness. We go into November, right? So we got another one. 7 months of baseball when you count the playoffs. So a good time to get on board with Tony Brown with his baseball pass or long-term pass. 1-year all sports pass. Tony Brown will be in action in baseball. You know that. Great results over the years in hockey. A lot of NBA up there too. And of course, before you know it, then there'll be football season. So get on board with Tony Brown. Use that promo code PICKIT checkout, and we'll save you that 15% off. Multi-cap promotions, even greater value there. You know, when the calendar hits 4, that means we're just 4 months away from August. And what happens in August? Preseason football. So it's not too far away. All right, Tony Brown is always here and having his show. Continue that great work. Great start in baseball. Keep the hockey going, and we'll catch up with you again on Thursday.
All right, man. I'll always being here. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.
You got it. Tony Brown here on the drive-through. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through, guys. Let's take a look here at our chat pick of the day, right? We asked you guys, this will be your pick. You'll own it here. Knicks and Heat. If you like the Knicks, +3, it's A. Heat -3 is B. Over 206, C. Under 206 is D. So get those picks coming in right now in the chat. We've just seen another one come in here for the Heat -3. We've seen our man Chris coming in with the Heat -3. The Heat -3 right now is ahead here as we're getting a few C's coming in as well. I see another C coming in here. So another B coming in. So we've got, let's see, 2 more B's coming in. Wow. So right now we've got 7 on the Heat, 1 on the Knicks. I see just 1 A right now in the chat room. So that you guys are just pounding the Heat tonight. So Heat is so far everyone's choice, as we just got another B coming in, so that's 8 here on the Heat. And we got another one in again. Another one. Wow, we got another one here. 9 on the Heat. You guys liking the Heat? The Heat looks like runaway winner so far. My goodness, you guys are voting this thing like it's over. All right, let's continue here. I don't know where Jay is. Anywhere did you found Jay? You guys text Jay. Tell him he owes us a pick. He owes us an appearance here on the drive-thru. So we'll continue here on the drive-thru. Up next is going to be Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Wayne right now. I think we're set to roll here. We'll get some baseball. We'll also talk some basketball with Wayne in a second. Let me just see if we can get him here on a second here. Wayne, here we go. Wayne, what's happening? You're on mute there, Wayne. You're on mute. Wayne's got to get that work. We just got another A. We got our second pick here on the Knicks, so it's 9-2 right now in chat pick there. All right, Wayne, you get back?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, Peter family? What's going on, Tony P?
It's going great. All right, here we go. Rockies and Cubs here from Chicago. I got to keep an eye on the weather because I know when I researched the games this morning that we saw there was a lot of weather in these games. So let me just verify these games here. So far at last check, we don't have any rain outs, but man, I saw rain. It's at 90% in some of these locations. Although this Milwaukee game went ahead, even though it was rain in the forecast. So let me see if we can update the weather in this game. Yeah, we're still showing. Okay, 90% chance of rain with the Mets game. 90% chance of rain, White Sox, Atlanta. 90% chance of rain in this game. But so far the Milwaukee game went through. So here we go. Rockies and Cubs. Cubs $1.76, total 8.5.
Yeah, I understand the line, but I just don't love it. Cubs is 2-2. Pretty good series against the Rangers. Both of these teams come in playing some tough teams. Rockies on the other side, they're 1-4. Pretty good series against the D-backs. I've seen some good fight out of them. But as I stated, man, this line, I cannot lay minus 200 with Javier Assad on the mound. He's not a terrible pitcher. I know what people see. The Cubs 6-4 last 10 against the Rockies and winning 4 straight. But as I stated, Javier Assad, he's a middle-of-the-road pitcher, averaging a 3 ERA. So he gives up about 2-3 runs as of last season. Kyle Freeland got rocked on his first game out against the Diamondbacks. 10 hits, 10 runs. So I know that's another reason it's scaring people off the Rockies. But if you know Kyle Freeland, I've been a backer of Kyle Freeland. He has those type of games. He also has games where he comes in and gives up 1 to 2, possibly 3 runs, just like Javier Assad. So I feel like this starting pitcher matchup is more even than the odds and the line suggested. When you go to the batting, I feel like the Rockies have a good chance of batting on this. They're batting righties much better, much stronger on the season. They're also seeing the ball against righties much stronger, taking more walks against righties. And on the other side of that, Cubs have not, their bats don't scare me as of yet. They have not got them going to the point where I'm like, I cannot go against the Cubs right now. And the this bullpens are pretty even. Cubs bullpen giving up about an average of 4 runs on the season, and same with the Rockies. So you're giving me in a pretty even matchup in my eyes. Plus 160, plus 70, 170. I got to take my chance with the Rockies here, man.
All right, we got Wayne here on the Rockies here, plus 160, 160 in most places right now. I hear what you're saying here about Assad. He's more of I think a middle relief guy, or if he's one of those guys that you want to do as an opener, or in one of those bullpen games. I know they tried him before and started in the starting rotation. But he's been kind of moving back and forth between the rotation and a reliever. But I think I'd rather have him in long relief or as a middle reliever. But I hear you there with Assad. Freeman is someone that had a bad season last year. And because you said Freeman used to be a really good pitcher. That explains when you're able to have a long career in Colorado like Freeland has, it basically attests to the fact that he's been pretty good. I think what people want to see here, obviously you said, is they expected some sort of form reversal in his first start. We didn't get in that first start. They kind of hung him out to dry up there. I mean, you got to feel bad for the guy. You don't want a guy in his first start to put up a 10 spot, man. That's going to screw up your head. I mean, you know how long it's going to take to reverse that to make your ERA look halfway respectable.
Yeah, but we've seen this. If you just look at his numbers on the season, he gives up 7 runs, and he comes back next game giving up 2 to 3 runs. Last time he played the Cubs, he gave up 8 hits, Tony, only 3 runs, and they lost 4-5. And this is the type of game that I'm expecting from Freeland. On the other side, as you said, Javier's side, he is not terrible, but at the same time, he's had games where he's given up 4 to 5 runs, so he's just not like a all-star type pitcher either. As you just mentioned, he could be a reliever in some spots. But this line is just way needs to be in my mind a little bit closer for me to even look the Cubs' way. Maybe a minus 130. I can understand the Cubs here, but laying 200 with the way the Cubs have been batting. I'm expecting Kyle Freeland. He can't play no worse than he played last game. I'm expecting the Kyle Freeland we seen the last time the Kyle Freeland played the Cubs, which is giving up 6, 7 hits, possibly 2, 3 runs, and I think Rockies can be in this ball game with a performance like that from Kyle Freeland. Cubs bullpen is hasn't shown me nothing to run from either.
I guess you would call this bad reputation value on the Rockies, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. No, you hit it right on the head. You hit it right on the head. And then the Cubs, you know how the Cubs are a very popular team. People are going to bet them regardless of the spot, regardless of the pitcher, regardless of how good or bad they're hitting. They're just going to back the Cubs at home.
Yeah, and the Cubs aren't in great shape. So I know some folks are saying the Rockies, but remember, look at the competition they're going to play. We used to hear people, the bad teams win 60 games. I think you have to rephrase that. The bad teams are going to win at least 45. I think some of these bad teams are going to be really bad. But again, Rocky's going to find a way somehow, some way to win at least 45, right?
I hear you, and I'm with you on that, Tony. But getting these prices, can't you be profitable betting a team that wins 45, getting plus 160, plus 180? You can still end up being profitable rather than a Cubs team winning 60 games and laying minus 200. You're going to be wiped out pretty quick, even with them having a good win total at the end of the season.
Yeah, especially when you're betting against a bottom of the rotation hit pitcher like Hassad. I mean, you're looking at a guy who's, fifth starter. I haven't really looked deep enough into that. Maybe I should look at the Chicago Cubs starting rotation here because I'm going to find out where Assad fits in all of this. That Assad will begin the season in the rotation because we got Taillon's got an injury. Assad wanted over Drew Smiley. Smiley had a bad spring, so he kind of backed into the position because Smiley had a bad spring. And we also have injuries here to Jamison Taillon. And that's the only reason why Assad was promoted into this rotation. It's nothing that he really won. It's basically he's in there because of injury, because also we got Justin Steele hurt. We got Jamison Taillon hurt. Caleb Keelam is hurt. Keelam, we've seen him before. So basically, Assad is in there mainly because of these injuries. So then here we go. You're getting somebody probably the 7th, 8th man on the depth chart. You're going to lay minus 176 on a guy who's probably 7th on the depth chart because of injuries.
Yes, excellent breakdown. I knew that the Cubs were missing pitchers, but I did not realize they were that banged up in the pitching. Steele, Taillon, all guys that I'm familiar with. Smiley definitely had an up and down season last year, but he had some pretty good stuff. But Assad, yeah, as you mentioned, with those guys that you just named available, I definitely don't think he's on this. He makes the pitching cut.
There we go. Wayne here on the Rockies here, plus the 160 against the Cubs. This one tonight here at 7:40 Eastern Time. All right. Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, off to a good start in baseball. Baseball on the board, 14 games.
Tony.
Yes. Go ahead.
No rundown today for you,
boy.
boy.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, we got the rundown. Thanks for reminding me about the rundown. That's a very important part of this show is the rundown. I got to get that NBA in there. And I thank you for reminding me because a lot of folks won't say anything. They'll just, I'm afraid to say anything. Don't be afraid. I appreciate you letting me know because it's an important part of the show is that NBA rundown. We look forward to this. Everyone does. I would have heard it from the chat for sure. So let me go back here. Let's do the rundown here. We'll cover games not covered on the show. We'll begin here with Lakers and Raptors here. The Lakers 13 on the road, total 235.5.
Yes, sir. We're going to roll with Toronto. They're getting a few guys lined up with Brown, and they just have some depth. Quickly was game time decision, but I do expect him to play. Lakers need to win this game, but Lakers also need to prevent injury. Just make sure guys stay healthy. On the other side of that, you got Raptors guys who are fighting for roster spots for next season. So I do like these guys to play hard. And for some reason, the Raptors play good against the Lakers. They're 7-3 ATS in their last 10 against them. And they lost their last 2, but the last time they played the Lakers, this was at the Lakers, they only lost by 1 point. We're getting plenty of points in our back pockets with Toronto Raptors. We're going to take them here.
All right, play here will be on the Raptors here at plus the 13. You know what the Raptors look like, right?
Yeah, they've been playing with a worse lineup than what I've seen here tonight. Like I said, they do have a few guys inserted back in there. Quickly's been out for a couple games. R.J. Barrett's back. Bruce Brown. So they've got some guys back. They're still missing some key guys that can help off the bench, like in starters like Porter, Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent. But they've been playing with a lot worse lineup than what they have tonight. So I expect them to fight a little bit and keep this game close.
All right, that's how he looks at it there. We'll continue here on our NBA rundown. Get to the next game here on the board here on this 9-game card from the NBA. We got Bucks Wizards. Bucks 13 on the road, total 225.
It's almost the same thing I just said about the LA and Toronto. I like the Wizards, man. It's just a lot of points. Bucks are just not a team that I like to lay this many points with on the road. At home, I would probably look their way. On the road, I wouldn't. This Bucks team, they've been smacking the Wizards. They're 8-2 against them straight up. But ATS, the spread, what we bet, they're only 5-5. This is a 50-50 game. We're getting a lot of points. We've seen this season recently, November 24th, this same spread. Wizards was at they're now at home, but Wizards was at the Bucks getting 13 points, and they only lost that game by 3 points. So do I expect them to lose this game by 3 points? No, it can be a 7-8 point. It wouldn't matter because we'll get the win having 13 points in our pockets. And Wizards, same thing. They're inserting a couple guys that they've been sitting in the last 10 games back in the starting lineup. Actually, think this lineup is decent. Still missing Kuzma, but Poole, Kisper, Bagley's back in there. I think they do enough to compete. And the Bucks injury report doesn't look lovely this game.
All right, continue. Just an update on that Laker game. Both LeBron and Davis will play today because there was some question marks entering that one. But there we've got that coverage there here on the injury report. Let's take a look here again on that Milwaukee game. They've got Galloway and Lillard out here for Milwaukee. Everybody else probable. Giannis, Beauchamp, Beverly, Middleton there. All right, we'll continue here on our NBA rundown. Next up, we will get Jay on the show in a little bit. For those who are wondering, Knicks and Heat, our chat pick of the day here. We see the Heat laying 3, total 206.
Yeah, man, I like the Heat. They're 6-4 ATS against the Knicks. Play good against the Knicks. Playing for a playoff spot here. They have the better roster right now as far as injuries go. More depth coming off the bench, and I just like the Heat here in this revenge spot. So you give me this Heat team that's not as banged up, has good scores coming off the bench. That's where I think the separation comes. Starting lineup. Starters for starters, I think it'll be a closer game, but when you start putting those bench pieces in versus the bench pieces for the Knicks, I think the Heat kind of pull away late here at home with the revenge spot.
All right, we've got the Thunder and 76ers, your TNT game. Sixers now down to 3. It looks like Embiid is leaning toward playing tonight. The total 221, no SGA out.
Hey, I'm still rocking with the Thunder, even though SGA is out. Just a way better team on both sides of the balls. Sixers rely heavily on defense. You never really know what you're getting from them offensively.
I'll stop you here. Jalen Williams also out for the Thunder.
Yeah, I definitely seen that. But this Thunder team has a strong bench. Guys come off the bench and step up all the time. I think the last time that both of these guys were out, Thunder line moved just like this, and the Thunder still won outright. Sixers, they just don't love them offensively, man. I trust Thunder way more offensively in this spot. Both of these teams got a lot to play for as far as just playoff seeding, but I'm just going to go with the totality of the season, how the Thunder have been playing, and I'm going to continue to ride that right in this game.
All right, that way. All right, continue here on our rundown. Rockets and Timberwolves. This one came down a bit. I think it was 8 overnight. Now we're seeing Timberwolves laying 7, a total 214 in this one. Clark Town's out. He's still out for Minnesota.
Yeah, Timberwolves, when they do cover these spreads is at home. They haven't been covering them too much recently. I just feel like Rockets are pretty public in this one. I know they've been playing well. I know they're playing for that playoff position. But I think the Timberwolves can win and cover this game. Both two defensive teams, but Timberwolves are the way stronger defensive team, and Timberwolves are the more reliable offensive team with the best player on the court. I'm going to ride with the Timberwolves to pull away late and cover that 7.
All right, continue on here. We got Cavs and Jazz going head to head here. We see the Cavs 9.5. The total coming to 216.5.
Yeah, we're gonna ride with the Jazz here. Cavs not horrible on the road, but we know the Jazz have been great at home. I know the Jazz are missing pieces. I see this line is moved. It was at about 11 earlier. Yeah. But even at the 9.5, I'm still rocking with the Jazz in this one. I think the Cavs win, but Jazz do enough to keep it close. It's just how they play at home. They tough place for people to come in and still wins in. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jazz even won outright. But you're giving me 9-10 points with the Jazz. I'm going to take them at home pretty much 90% of the time. I think they're hitting that right. Covering at about a 60% clip at home last time I checked.
Yeah, there you go. Final now, Brewers have won 3-2 against the Twins there. Yeah, that one had come down quite a bit there. Especially those Eastern Conference teams always seem to have trouble there in Utah. I think we talked with Big Al when he looked at his database about that. We'll continue here on our rundown here from the NBA. The 9 games on the board tonight, except the ones we're not covering. Ones that we cover on the show. Spurs Nuggets. This line has stayed at 16 with a total 224.
Yeah, I like the Spurs here, man. I like the way they've been playing. I would like for them to be a little bit more healthier. Got guys like Vassell, good scorers that are that were out. Let me double check that.
Barlow, Johnson out here for the Spurs.
Okay, Vassell's in. Okay.
Yeah, and Murray is still the question mark for Denver.
Okay. Even then, it's just a boatload of points. The same thing I kind of said about the Lakers. Do I expect Denver to win? Yes, but at the same time, we're getting closer to playoff time. Once these boys jump out 8, 9, or 10, I definitely expect them to just rest some of these players, get some of these other guys off the bench a little more minutes, get them more acclimated, and I expect the Spurs to compete. You got guys on that side trying to play for a spot to play with Wemby next season, and just try to play for what I call camera time, something so they can present to coaches to even make a roster next season. So 16 is a lot of points in the NBA games. These are still NBA players. We're going to ride with the Spurs. They've been playing well lately.
Right in there with the Spurs there. Says Wayne Scott in this one. And, of course, Mavericks Warriors will be covering a little later in the show. Clippers Kings, this one's kind of creeped up a little bit. Kings now 3.5, total 222. This actually reversed the other way. It was the Clippers that were favored right overnight. This has been a monster move because Kawhi Leonard has issues with that knee.
And I'm not even worried about it. That makes better value on the Clippers. I like the Clippers when they were favored. Now I still like the Clippers now that they're underdogs. They're more prepared for missing pieces. We've seen them miss pieces predominantly more last season than this season, but even when they miss pieces, they have the guys to plug in. And I know they haven't been playing well lately, but neither have the Kings. And just as much as Kawhi Leonard is for the Clippers, you can say the same thing about missing for the Kings. So I'm going to stay with the Clippers in this one. Almost a home games. I know they've been on a road trip, but we're getting closer to home while playing the Kings, and I'm going to take the Clippers here in this spot.
Wayne says the Clippers in that spot. We got through the rundown here from the NBA. We'll be having coverage here on Warriors and Mavericks a little later in the show. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, Wayne having a good start in Major League Baseball. We're getting some of these 6:40 game starts. So we got about 8 games we made it on the schedule in prime time. 9-game card NBA action on the ice as well. 8 games. NIT is tipping off as well. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, it's a bigger card for me. 7 plays. I have 3 NBA, 3 MLB, and 1 in the college basketball today. I have 2 3-packs, and then I have my best bet in college basketball and my best bet in the NBA. So, not NBA. I have my best bet in MLB. No best bet in NBA tonight, just a 3-pack. So you can get one of those 3-packs if you're MLB. I got 3 for you. If you're NBA, I got 3 for you. Or you can get all those plays by getting a 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day pass. Pair me up one of these top handicappers that you see on the show. Let's continue to get cash.
And right, indeed, get on board with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs. We see the great results Wayne's produced here in Major League Baseball, 177 units of profit. So go on up, get on board, sign up for a long-term pass. Remember that 7-day pass will get you the NBA for 7 days, as well as the NCAA tournament for Final Four, and as well as a championship game on Monday. Pick is a promo code to save that 15% off. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. To that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yeah, keep a lookout for the boxing. Like I said, even if I can't get that video out, you guys the plays on here this week. So I got a lot of boxing cards coming up.
Yeah, guys, check out Wayne's boxing video series here on Pick Dog's YouTube channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, set those notifications, so when Wayne drops that video, you get it right away. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again on the show tomorrow.
All right, appreciate you, Tony T. Good luck with all your bets, Pick Dog family. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.
Got it, Wayne Scott here on the drive through. All right, we'll continue here with Big Fighting Jay, so we'll get to Jay in a second. Just want to remind you on the chat pick of the day, it's the Knicks and Heat. If you like the Knicks, it's A. Knicks +3 is A. Heat -3 is B. Over 206 C. Under 206 is D. Right now, it is all Heat. Heat with 9-3 here. We got some unders, 3 unders, 2 overs. So keep those votes coming in here. It is the chat pick of the day as you guys are coming in with your picks today here on the show. And we're tied here with the over and unders now in this vote. All right, let's continue here. It's time for Jay Briggs. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Baseball coverage from Jay here on the show. Catch him at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now. We'll be catching that morning show. We'll get him here in just a second. Let's bring in Jay Briggs, ready to go here on the show. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening, my man?
What's going on? All right, here we go tonight. Guardians, Mariners going head-to-head. Pretty good pitching matchup. Bieber and Castillo at last check. I'm assuming there's still this line. This total is telling you there's been no pitching change. Mariners, $1.15, total 7.
Hey, you hit the nail right on the head, man. I think we got a pitcher's duel, and I'm one that is not afraid to take unders in baseball. It's going to be a sweaty one, but I'm taking it here tonight. Castillo didn't look that great in his first outing, but I trust this guy. Castillo usually has some really good stuff. And Shane, baby Bieber, well, he looked really good in his first outing, so I don't really have no problem thinking that he has another solid outing. Guardians last year, what was their problem? Struggled to hit the baseball. What was the Mariners' problem? Mariners, what is their problem? They have a really good pitching staff. Their offense sometimes leaves them out to dry. I think this is another one where it might probably be one of the most boring games you'll see tonight in baseball, but if you like defense, then it's your style game. I like the under here.
Pitching duel here with Castillo and Bieber. Bieber really looked good, even though it was against the A's. He was someone they needed. Remember, McKenzie and Bieber were the ones that were out for Cleveland, so keep an eye on this Guardians team. Of course, as you said, it's the bats that hold both of these teams back.
Yeah, that's going to be the story for both of these two teams. That's going to make or break both of these teams this season. Can they get timely offense? The Tigers in a very winnable division this year. The Guardians in a very winnable division this year. But the Tigers starting out, though, it may not be that way for too much longer if the Guardians don't get it together. And then the Mariners, they were always in that, realm of, this team may be the shock team in their division. We'll see with the Astros and the Rangers over there really solidifying things. But if their bats get going, they can have a really solid stretch of baseball and maybe make things interesting. So offense is the key here for both teams, but I don't think we see either one of them tonight.
All right, Jay's here on Mariners under 7 here in this one. This one tonight, late 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Room for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, 9-game card from the NBA. They're giving us 9 games tonight, 9 games tomorrow. So we're getting some volume up here on the board. Also, still about 8 games to go in Major League Baseball. Couple up there from NIT, action on the ice as well. Jay enjoying a fantastic season in the NBA, 4,247 units of profit in the NBA. That is all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yes, sir. I had a lot going on. I think I had 10 plays total. I really loved today's card. So if you on something long-term, you get every single play that I released today. I think 5 in baseball, 5 in NBA. That's how I end up shaking out. But I think some of the baseball might have started already, depending on the time. So my play of the day is still available in baseball, though. I think you can scoop that up. And then I have an NBA play of the day and the NBA 3-pack. So plenty of still time to get in on the NBA action if you get in right now. So money making Tuesday, bounce back Tuesday for me. Trying to continue to kick the crap out of the books. You guys can hop on with me over at Pick Dogs Premium.
That's right, guys. Get aboard with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results Jay's put up in the NBA this night. So get on board. All sports passes, great way to go. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll be able to save that 15% off. And of course, this game has just started, Jay. But again, your Texas Rangers just don't seem to get any respect here on the board. Eflin against Heaney. I know this game has started here, but I was surprised to see that big plus next to the Rangers this morning.
It's a pricing issue, and that's going to be my argument with my Rangers this season. If they're going to price the World Series champ like a middle-of-the-pack team all season, we're going to continue to bang them over the head all season. I just think it's crazy, the pricing in baseball. Like, in the NBA, you kind of see the lines adjust. You know what I mean? They don't really give good teams bad lines. I feel like in baseball, they do it all the time. It's just something you got to watch out for, and you got to find the value over the full course of the baseball season. And if they're going to price our Rangers like that, I certainly have to take them in those situations.
I know baseball bettors have made a lot of money on the Rays at home, but I've seen this team late last year and this year, we start to see a lot of rosters, a lot of good players leave this roster, and I don't think they can replenish them like they've done in the past.
Yeah, we're going to have to. The Rays are going to be an interesting team to watch this season. Like you said, I get it. I do. Over the past couple seasons, the Rays in the Trop, it's real. They're really, really, really good. But in that same breath, the Rangers have now beat them, 4 times down there in the Trop in a row, dating back to last season. So continuously pricing them like that, I think over the long haul, we're going to get a really good value on the Rangers.
And I don't think revenge applies in professional sports. Usually if a team beats you, you get in their head in professional sports.
I didn't have the Rangers as a premium yesterday. I was a little worried about the revenge angle. I'll be honest, I was, because I think I gave out the Rangers here on the yesterday.
You gave it on the drive too. Yeah.
So I was a little worried about that. That's why I missed my premium side, but I still like them. And especially in baseball, I think revenge in baseball is probably one of the more overblown things, because baseball is kind of, I don't want to say I don't know. Baseball is a little harder to get revenge than any other sport. You know what I mean? Because one player doesn't have as much impact on the game as per se like the NBA or even football. I feel like, I don't know.
Pitchers just have a different mindset, because you get about 30 starts, and you know how these guys are stat patters, man. They don't want they're so worried about their ERA, their WHIP, their strikeout rate. I mean, they're just laser focused on the opponent. I don't think pitchers really are really they don't have that mindset, because they got to keep it steady Eddie, man. Because if you get too crazy out there, you won't have your command.
Yeah, so I think the revenge angle in baseball is a little overblown. Can you make money betting the Rays this season in the Tropicana field? Most likely. But not if they're going to price them like this against the best teams in baseball. Come on, man. I will bet the Rays at home, but I don't think they're this much better than the Rangers is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where they should be priced.
And Heaney isn't that bad. He can strike you out. But I was surprised. What's wrong with Heaney? Nothing wrong. What the hell's his price? Minus 155. Eflin had a bad start the first time. I understand the bounce back with Eflin, but this Rays team, I'm seeing some decline over the couple of years here with this team. I don't think they're as good as people think they are. Now the Twins are putting up some runs here. Twins bats waking up here in the second, 2-0 already against maybe a third run coming. Yeah, 3-0. But 3-0 the Twins. They did this last night. They got up early start, and then boom, here comes the Orioles to cover the run line, because we know that Twins bullpen. You got that's you got to watch for. All right, Jay, we're going to catch you here on your video series NBA rundown. Of course, the morning shows as well.
Yes, sir. You guys can catch me in the morning with Mitch Ruffalo. Wednesdays with Romanelli, so Romanelli should be there tomorrow. Should be a pretty good show. And then Fridays with Costi, and Mondays with Costi as well. So ton of fun. Tune in. You can catch the NBA Jam Session. We cover every single game, every single day. Right now in the NBA, we got to be careful. It's tremendous roster manipulation going on
Absolutely.
at this time of the season. So we got to be really careful, pick our spots. That Thunder 76ers game, oh my God.
That thing's coming down quite a bit. Yes, from the 5.5, it looked good,
flipped.
but
I saw it get up to like Sixers minus 4.5.
Jeez.
Yeah, because I guess Embiid is playing. I did not expect that at all. I did not expect him to play at all.
Yeah, but it's down to Sixers now, 2.5. That's right. The Sixers are favored now with Embiid expect to play. But again, minutes restrictions, and people didn't see that, right? Restrictions. He's going to be restricted in this game. So that's what Nick Nurse said. So people, Embiid's playing, let's run to the window. Yeah, but you got to read the fine print. You got to read the fine print when players come back from injury. So no SGA and no Williams either. To me, Williams is the big one there. I know SGA, but that was the big one. The Thunder's missing 2 of their top players in this game. So that's the big concern there. All right, Jay, we'll catch up with you again on the show here when we got you here Thursday.
Yes, sir. See you Thursday, Tony T. Appreciate you, my man.
You got Jay Briggs here on the drive-thru, guys, updating that chat pick of the day. Guys, get your votes in. And so far, it's been a runaway here with the Heat. We got 10-4 now. We got a few. Hey, somebody out there is going against the chat. I think our man Matt D is learning on these wide these big spreads here to go against the chat. So it was pretty funny there. We had a big right. The chat didn't come through yesterday because the Suns. It was like 15-3 in favor of the Pelicans. Let's bring in Rod. Rod, what's happening? Rod, you home? I guess Rod is working his videos. Maybe let me see what he says here. Usually he sends me a text, but I guess Rod is uploading. I guess maybe he's uploading. Let me see what the message is from Rod. We had him on Senator's Wild today. Let's see what he says. Usually sends me something here. Let's see here. Don't know where Rod is. Maybe we lost him with some. Maybe there's some weather going on over there. But Rod on the pick today was on the Senators. Was his pick plus 123. That was Rod Zawacky's pick today here on the show. All right. Let's see what we've got here. Rod over at Pick Dogs Premium. You'll see there that he's got a pretty good day over the past 7 days here. 222 units of profit. So looking for Rod, go ahead and get signed up. Remember the promo code promo code Pick at checkout. We'll save you that 20% off. Yeah, Rod looks mad. Yeah, he looks really mad. Man, Craig Dexter there, up there in the room there. He goes, Rod, hey, I need to get on. Yes, we do. All right, let's continue here. Let's get to the let's close out this chat pick of the day, and then we will get to the recap here. Looks like right now we got another, but actually we haven't got one in. So right now it is 10. We're going to close it now. It's overwhelming here. 10 for the Heat. 4 for the Knicks, and we got 3 each over under. So that's the chat pick of the day. Will be on the Heat laying the 3 points. All right, let's get to the recap, and then we'll close out the show. All right, let's go ahead and hit recap. All right, we recap it here with Alex was on the Yankees minus 104 against D-backs. Tony Brown, Golden Knights, Canucks under 5.5. Jay was on Guardians, Mariners under 7. Wayne was on the Rockies at a price here, plus 160 against the Cubs. Rod Senators minus plus 123 against Wild. I'll be on the Mavericks minus 1 against the Warriors, the one I like the most. Let's go with Alex's pick there on the Yankees. I like the Yankees here at minus 104. That's the pick I like the most of all of them out there. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs. I've got the best bet up there on the board right now from Major League Baseball. Also, actually, best bet is from NBA. Best bet NBA, also a 3-pack up there mixing baseball and NBA, so get on board. Also get my long-term pass. I have a 3, 7, or 30-hour sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just like when you go to my handicap page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code Pick at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. All right, we've closed up the chat pick of the day. You guys going to get my pick here in a second. And really, it's just going to come down to this Mavericks game, right? Mavericks and the, oops, I still have Guardians in there. Let me just switch that out here real quick. And we'll put the NBA board up there because we are going to look at that Mavericks Warriors game, and we got it here. Mavericks and Warriors. We're going to be here on the Mavericks just based on their form. Their form has been outstanding. I mean, when we look here at the Mavericks, they're starting to defend really well right now, and that has kind of been the difference for me. We believe Kuminga. Let me take a look at Kuminga. I think Jonathan Kuminga was listed as questionable earlier, probable for Thompson. That was the latest, but let me go ahead and flip over to my NBA injury report and see what we've got here. We can update Josh Green, Lively, Alfred Dallas, Saric is out for Golden State. Kuminga still questionable. Thompson probable. So that's the information there. But man, when you look at the form right now for this Dallas Mavericks, you take a look over their past 5 games. They sit second in defensive efficiency, give up just under 104 points per 100 possessions, a plus 16 net rating. They're holding teams to 42% shooting over this period. And of course, the Warriors at home are averaging 116 points per 100 possessions at home post All-Star break, just a plus 3.9 net rating. And we look at the Mavericks on the spread record on the road, 25-12. Golden State, actually, they're no longer the favorite in this game. Right now, they're no longer the favorite, so that will not apply. But still, we'll go here with the Dallas Mavericks, just based on the strength of their defense and their form. -1 here against the Warriors. All right, guys, now it's time to get your best bets into the chat, and we'll read them out. We've closed out the chat pick of the day. It will be on the Heat. That was the overwhelming victory. Has been the Heat here. -3 is the chat pick of the day. And I want you guys right now to go ahead and put in your best bets into the chat, and we'll read them off for you. That'll do it for this edition of the Drive Thru. We'll be back again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers for Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. We'll go at your place for you in real time. Remember, it always gets started with that morning show. We are live here 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We got Mitch, we got Chris, we got Jay. Also, video series from Mitch, 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tool Show is roundtable discussions with the professionals, as well as a short series. We've got Jay's NBA Jam session, also around the league with the NHL with Chris. Rod Zawacky goes around the league from the NHL. That's what he does. A to Z coverage from the NHL, pick from every game on the board. Also, we have Wayne with his boxing video series, and of course many more here, like Ron Romanelli with his bank shot breakdown, college basketball, get those NIT picks from Ron Romanelli. Also baseball rundown as well from Ron. And of course, all access with Big Al Morty, Sharp Trading Plays with Costi. We got contrarian picks here from our man, Sharp Contrarians from Brian Bittler. And it goes on and on. Short series with both Brad and Javon. And of course, many, many more here on the channel. Nerfy with Brad as well. That's going to do it. Okay, let's go ahead and read off the best bets. Your show picks coming in right now. We got Blake here with Indiana State laying the 4.5. He also likes the Blue Jays money line coming in. Let's see who else we have. Jazz for Blake as well. Let's see what we got here. Any more best bets for the show coming in? We'll be looking for them right now. Jays money right here. T-Wows -4 first half here from Dustin Jamie H. Washington Capitals by Clay Drexler +120. Tigers money line. Chris White Thunder. That's a show pick of the day. Tigers money line +115. Let's see what else we've got here. Any more best bets before we let you guys go? We'll read them off here, but I think we have covered Darren Turner, Rockies +1.5 from Darren Turner. That's his show pick today. And let's see what else we've got here. Any more best bets? Your last call for your show picks. Get them in right now. Let's see here. Last chance. Let me see if we've got any more. We got Dustin's pick in. We got Blake's in. All right, we got them all in. All right, that's going to do it for our Drive Thru, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow at 6 Eastern Time. So let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Anyway,